Many Formula One fans are still curious about Lewis Hamilton's plans for the future of the sport. After the contentious conclusion of the Formula One 2021 season, in which Lewis Hamilton was denied the opportunity to become the only athlete in history to win 8 different world championships, it has been speculated that there is a remote possibility that he will sit out of Formula One competition for an entire year. As the uncertainty surrounding Lewis Hamilton's future persists, here is some additional information about his decision to reject the new Formula One head. Hey F1 enthusiasts, welcome back to F1 Exclusive. In today's video, we are going to discuss have Lewis Hamilton's best days come to an end. So without further ado, let's begin. The 2022 Formula One Championship is proving to be a challenge for Lewis Hamilton, who is currently in second place. Because of the fact that he hasn't even come close to winning a race while driving the Mercedes F1 W13, my curiosity has been piqued as to whether or not he will be victorious in Formula One in the future. 6 competitions in a span of 8 weeks. The pressure is on. That's all the time Mercedes has to maintain Formula One's most stunning statistic, one that supporters of both Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton are eager to see continue. But unfortunately for them, the bad news keeps flooding in. Even drivers who aren't thought to be contenders for the championship usually win a race at some point during a Formula One season. However, this season has the potential to be one of the least competitive seasons in a long time. For Lewis Hamilton, this Formula One season is undoubtedly one of the most challenging of his whole career in the sport. The British driver's car has undergone a dramatic transformation as a result of the new regulations, and he is having trouble adjusting to it. Compared to the previous year's outcomes, it is evident that he has improved. In light of the fact that 2022 is shaping up to be a horrible year for him, the 37-year-old driver may have already made the decision to retire from Formula One. This season, Lewis Hamilton is having some difficulty overcoming his struggles. Mercedes was forced to entirely rethink its automobile in order to comply with the new standards that went into effect in 2022. Even if the British driver's new teammate, George Russell, doesn't appear to be fazed by this, the 7-time world champion is feeling completely lost. The 37-year-old driver's results demonstrate that his car does not allow him to be competitive, and this is reflected in his results. Lewis Hamilton is now in 6th place in the Formula One standings and is a significant distance behind Max Verstappen, who is in 1st place. Even though the season hasn't even reached its midpoint stage, the Mercedes driver has almost probably been eliminated from contention for the title of world champion. It might be difficult for Lewis Hamilton to climb back to the top of the Formula One standings this season, and his troubles could be explained by a habit of always having a very excellent car in recent years, in addition to an issue of confidence linked to his poor start to the season. Additionally, his difficulties could be explained by a habit of always having a very good car in recent years. It's going to be a tough adjustment for Lewis since he's not used to driving a car that isn't as competitive as the others. Since 2014, he has been in the running for the championship each year, and he recently gained a new colleague in George Russell, who is still young but has proven to be highly competitive so far, according to Jenson Button, a former teammate of his. This is as a result of the fact that George has a far superior car than the one he had at Williams, which has provided him with the confidence to attack more frequently. If Lewis wants to get the most out of this vehicle, he probably does not have the confidence that is required of the driver of such a vehicle. And when you've had a few poor races in a row, it takes a mental toll on you. It is a sport that takes a significant amount of mental toughness on your part. It goes beyond the physical, Jenson Button said in his explanation. Is it possible that Lewis Hamilton's career in Formula One may come to an earlier end as a result of this situation? The opinion of Jenson Button is as follows. As we are all aware, Lewis is not only one of the best in the world, but he is also potentially the best in Formula One. At the very least, he will be able to compete once more if he so desires. The question is exactly this. It's possible that he believes that his career is ended and that he's ready to move on to other things. Who is to say? However, if Lewis is driving a car that is competitive, then he will be successful in the races. It remains to be seen whether Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton will be able to make a comeback during the course of the season, or whether the German team will be more operational in 2023 after going through a transition year. According to Lewis Hamilton's boss Wolff, one more season is still owed to Hamilton per his contract. Wolff would not say whether or not Hamilton would return to the Mercedes seat in February, despite the fact that Hamilton's contract is set to run until the conclusion of the next season. The 49-year-old driver shared his thoughts, saying, "I would very much hope that Lewis keeps racing because he is the best driver of all time. Over the next few weeks and months, we are going to be working through the events, and I believe that as a racer, his heart will scream, 'I need to continue,' since he is now performing at the highest level of his game. But it is necessary for us to get past the suffering that was inflicted upon him on Sunday, not least of all because he is a man of strong principles, and it is challenging for him to comprehend how something like that could take place. I just have to do the utmost that I can to help him get through this in order for him to return strong and with a love of the sport and trust in the decision-making of the sport next year, and I very much hope that will be the case. I have to do the utmost that I can to help him get through this." Since the end of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, we haven't heard much from Lewis Hamilton, and his most recent Instagram post was from after qualifying on the weekend, when he returned to the United Kingdom to accept the knighthood that had been bestowed upon him by Prince Charles. With this honor, he joined an elite group of current British athletes who are given the title of Sir, attempting to win 8 world championships. After tying Michael Schumacher's record of 7 F1 World Championships in 2020, Lewis Hamilton enters the 2022 season with the intention of breaking the record for most championships won in a single career. Additionally, he owns the record for the most victories, pole positions, and finishes on the podium. Because of his achievements on the track, it should come as no surprise that Lewis Hamilton is the highest-paid driver in Formula One. His contract through 2022 is projected to be worth $40 million, and he is reported to have a net worth of more than $300 million. The influence of Lewis Hamilton is not limited to the world of Formula One. In addition to being a well-known environmental and social crusader, Hamilton was just named one of Time magazine's 100 most important people for the year 2020. In addition to that, he just opened a vegan restaurant in New York City known as Neat Burger, and he also recently acquired the fashion magazine W, together with a prominent group of investors. The driver is also the owner of the X44 electric racing team, which competes in the Extreme E Off-Road Racing Championship, which is focused on environmental responsibility. And that brings us to the end of the video. Feel free to let us know what you think about this video. If you liked this video, then please leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. Thank you so much for watching this video today, and we will see you in the next one.